Hello, Padawans. Welcome to week 13 of the NFL. Had a rough week last week. Went 8-6. My college buddy went 11-3. Nice job, Perry. He's beaten me 2 weeks in a row. I'm going to talk to him about maybe doing dual podcasts next year. Starting from the beginning of the season, I just have to figure out how to use my computer instead of my phone and how to do a remote connection like through Zoom or some other program. If you have any suggestions on a program that works for that, let me know because technology is not my friend. Okay, so that makes me 122, 58 and 1. Ryan Wilson did pass me, and I'm tied with Pete Prisco at CBS, but I'm still ahead of everyone at ESPN and everyone else at CBS. So I'm still doing okay. Talked to my best friend here in Arizona, and he thought that I was overthinking things and I should just continue to go with my gut. I was trying to find a couple of upsets. Man, Indianapolis almost pulled it off. They just stopped playing. It's almost like they mimicked my Cardinals in the fourth quarter last week. Sorry about jinxing you there, Indianapolis. Anyway, let's get to this week. I'm doing all the picks today. It's Thanksgiving weekend, and I've got some things I've got to do for my job. So I'm going to just do everything today. Might follow up with a quick update. Remember, there are 3 games tomorrow, 1 game on Friday, the rest are on Sunday, and then, of course, Monday Night Football. All right, Thanksgiving Day tomorrow. And by the way, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I'll probably say it again at the end of the video just because, we've had a rough year. Green Bay at Detroit. I'm going with Green Bay. Detroit just seems to be too banged up to handle a higher level team right now, even at home. Their offensive line has been really banged up. The only one that's worse, the Cardinals. Kansas City at Dallas. I'm going with Kansas City on the road. Dallas has a great offense, but they've got a pretty bad defense, and they traded away probably the best defensive player in the league for a 6-pack of Bud Light. And then we've got Cincinnati at Baltimore. I'm going to go with Baltimore. I was leaning towards Cincinnati because Joe Burrow is back. I inserted him back into my lineup. I cut him, and he was still available 2 weeks ago. So I picked him back up, and, he's as good as any. But Cincinnati, I know they're the defensive tackle that they refused to pay. The guy who's led the league in sacks is banged up. So I'm going to go with Baltimore at home on that one. Friday, we've got Chicago at Philadelphia. Chicago's doing better, and they're improving, but it's in Philly. And that's a rough place to play in summer or spring, fall. And it's really hard to play there in the winter. And they're good at running the ball, and they've got one of the best running backs in the league. So I'm going with Philly at home on that one. Then on Sunday, we've got New Orleans at Miami. I like Miami at home on this one. There are rumors that they want the Cardinals to trade to Miami for Kyler Murray. They're basically the same quarterback. Murray's a little bit more durable, but the offensive line is the biggest problem with the Cardinals. So I wouldn't trade him. Personally, I would draft a tackle and 2 guards in the draft next year and build a line that can protect the quarterback for the first time in forever. Like since Dan Deerdorf played for the Cardinals. If you don't know who Dan Deerdorf is, yeah, that's how long it's been since they had a good offensive line. Let's see. We've got Houston at Indianapolis. Boy, Indy let me down last week, but I'm still going with Indy at home. Houston played way better last week than I thought they would, but still going to go with Indy at home. Atlanta at the Jets. This is a toss-up game for me. I'm going to go ahead and go with Atlanta. The Jets are just I would say shit show, but it's more like a Cardinals show, huh? Yeah, I'm pretty frustrated with my team. Let's see. We've got San Fran at Cleveland. That's easy. San Fran, they're one of the best coached teams in the league. Rams at Carolina. I'm going to go with the Rams. They're one of the best coached teams in the league. That's part of why the Cardinals are doing so poorly. We've got Jacksonville at Tennessee. Jacksonville, definitely on that one. Arizona at Tampa Bay. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. They're getting Bucky Irving back, so my fantasy football team looks slightly better. Minnesota at Seattle. This is a no-brainer. It's Minnesota. Boy, they let me down last week. I thought with the Green Bay Packers being down a few wide receivers, they'd have a shot. They didn't show up. So I am not betting on them against Seattle because Seattle's got a great offense and a great defense and a great coaching staff. Yeah, the Cardinals have to play those three teams twice a year. Let's see. Buffalo at Pittsburgh. I would love to take Buffalo here. I took them in the preseason when I did my preseason prediction. But they've been struggling a bit to close out games. So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh at home. Raiders at San Diego. I'm going to go with the Chargers at home. Denver at Washington. I'm going to take Denver. Washington last year was everybody's darling, everybody's surprise team. They're not surprising anyone this year. It looks like Cliff Kingsbury has lost his luster as everybody was celebrating him. He was terrible here in Arizona. But then again, other than Bruce Arians in recent history, who wasn't? We've got New York Giants at New England on Monday Night Football. Man, the Patriots have been just impressive this year. I did not expect them to be a top-tier team so quickly. I thought it might be next year. They have demonstrated competency. I am going with New England over the Giants, 24-16, 40 points. It's going to be a great weekend for football. There are a lot of really good games. Let's have a safe holiday experience. Happy Thanksgiving. And thank you to the handful of people who've been supporting me. Please share, like, subscribe. Again, I'm rebuilding my channel. I had over 1,000 subscribers on TikTok last year and lost the account. I had 6,700 plus 2 years ago and lost that account. That's one of the reasons I'm separating politics from my NFL prognostication. And of course, I'm going to be reading books to my grandkids here soon. I just need to get it set up so that I can somehow set the books up so that I can get the pages on the screen at times. And then I'm going to be mailing the books to my grandkids and of course my daughter, so that they can hold the book while they're reading it. But if anybody else is showing it to their kids, I want them to have access to the images from the children's books as well. So those things are what's going to be on this channel to continue. And I'm considering doing some cooking on here as well. The reason I'm overweight is because I'm really good at cooking and I'm even better at eating. So anyway, let's all eat well tomorrow and be safe out there. It's, life is worth everything. It's just best when you have family and friends. And if you don't, find somebody that you can spend some time with, even if it's just as a friend. I have a lot of psychology in my background, and I know the holidays are hardest. For the first few years after my divorce, they were brutal. But I have great family and friends here, and they truly saved my soul. So hopefully you find somebody that can do the same for you if you're having a hard time during the holidays. Take care, and if you're religious, bless you, and if you're not, still enjoy that food. Take care.